Alright guys, welcome to Break a Bolt. On today's episode, we're going to tackle the brakes because we did the E90 brakes retrofit on the E46, but I wasn't happy with it, so here's an update. Let's get rolling. Alright, so I'm pretty sure most of you guys are familiar with this setup. This is the spacer we made, I made to fit the E90 335i rotor. This is a huge rotor. It's a 348 by 30 millimeter. So I had to make the spacer because the depth. So the depth is higher compared to the E46 wheel hub. So if I throw this in as it is, it's gonna hit the knuckle. By the time the disc fully sits in, the disc actually hits the knuckle. So I had to use this spacer in between the wheel hub and the rotor, so it'll push the brake rotor a little forward so I could use it. It works, but I wasn't happy with it. I wasn't so sure about using a spacer between the wheel hub and the brake disc. I know they said they use it, but I wasn't happy with it. So what I did was I got this. This is basically a E46 M3 CSL or ZCP in US front brake rotor. So it's 345 by 28. It's a little smaller compared to the E90 335i rotor, not by much, just marginal, but the depth is perfect. It's made for E46, so it fits perfectly. It does not hit the knuckle. And let me try to compare this. It's a bit heavy. I mean, they're both a bit heavy. Anyway, so if I center this with the 335i, it's not much of a difference. It's 345 and 348, 3 millimeters is the the total distance, and it's 2 millimeters. The E90 335 is 2 millimeters thicker compared to the E46 CSL brake rotor. I did not go initially with this because the rotor itself is quite expensive. I believe I bought each rotor at $220 plus tax and everything. But I think, in my opinion, it's worth it because if you're trying to buy new rotors, you're going to spend at least minimum $100 on a rotor, like a good set of rotors per rotor. You're going to spend $100, and if you have the if you can get the E90 335i calipers, I'm pretty sure there's a lot on eBay and everywhere people trying to get rid of, because I mean they're decent, but they're not true. How do you say? They're not true big brake kit with like multiple pistons. It's only one piston. Anyways, so yeah, for me it's totally fine. It's so. That's the caliper, that's the rotor, and we're gonna throw this in the car, and let's get going. All right, let's throw the rotor in. I'm using the E46 M3 set screw. If you try to use the regular, like a 325, I think it's too wide, so this should be perfect. That's it. So now we're gonna throw the caliper in, but before I do so, I'm gonna let you know. So one of the problems I ran into was with the original brake lines I got. So I got stainless steel brake line, just a regular E46 ones. It seems like a little too short. It was kind of getting stretched when I do a full turn. So I ended up getting these E46 extended front brake line from Condo Sport. I think they use it for drifting. So this actually gives a little bit of clearance, and I don't have to worry about ever stretching the brake line. So let's screw this into the caliper. Now that I got the caliper full settled in, I'm using the E46 brake bolts. That's all, because I believe the E90 bolts are a little longer. So those are 16mm bolts. Now that I got the caliper bolted in, time to get the brake line fully tightened up. And it's 11mm. Not. Alright, so we're done with the calipers. Everything is connected. I connected the brake lines and all the sensors and whatnot. And now it's time to fill the system with brake fluid. So to do that, I'll be using a power bleeder. I bought this off of Amazon. It was like 40 bucks. I set the connectors on, screw on the cap, added the connector, and without any fluid, I just pumped it up to a bar and see. Just want to check if there's any leaks or anything, because I don't want to fill up with fluid and for it to start leaking. So far looks good. I kept it for like 15 minutes and it's holding the pressure, so I know for a fact there's no leak in the system at this point. I mean, at least that's what I could gather. Anyway, I'll be using ATE Type 200, I believe gold, whatever, brake fluid. I actually bought 2 liters. I think the whole system should take a liter, but I just bought an extra liter just in case. I'd rather have more than run out of brake fluid. So yeah, let's get going with it. I'm gonna release the pressure. That's good. Brake fluid is kind of, brake fluid does not go very well with paint, so make sure you don't, drop anywhere. Unplug it. So make sure you take the pressure off before even you unscrew it. You don't want it to kind of explode in your face. Hold that and quickly wipe everything off. Okay, that's about 1.5. I don't want to fill it too much either, but I don't want for it to kind of run out of fluid as well. So that's done. Alright, let's start pumping. Okay, so I have the pressure at close to like 20 psi. It's about 18. How the fluid start going? Maybe if I open up on the other end, it might come out. So I'm gonna go to the passenger rear wheel and start draining, I guess. All right. So on this end, I get a 9mm wrench. And let's try if it fits. Okay. It fits. Turn the nipple a bit. And now you could use a clear tube, like I believe it's a 1/6 inner diameter and 1/4 outer diameter. I'm not exactly sure. So what I did was I just bought one of these bottles from AutoZone. It was like $10, I think. So let's. Okay. So I removed the plastic cap, which was this, because it was leaking air from the cap, and now since I plug in the clear tube directly, it's flowing. Like you can see, there's no bubbles on the line. So I'm going to tighten it at this point. I'm going to do the E90 Front Caliper. Actually, that's the caliper we use. It's going to be 11 millimeter. I'm going to try to break it first. Okay, it breaks. And then okay. We got fluid coming through. And I don't see any bubbles. I think it should be good. Don't see any micro bubbles either. So it's time to bleed the clutch line. I don't know if you can see it. It's all the way here. This is the nipple. And I believe that's lemon as well. So, well, hopefully I can get to it. And I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to see it, but I'm gonna try my best. Okay. The problem is there's not much space left. Okay, got the tube in. Okay, I've loosened it, but I got no fluid coming. Why? Alright, I'm gonna go to the master cylinder and try pumping it. Seems to have a lot of micro bubbles. Well, I think I'm gonna give it a couple of more pumps and see how it does. Alright guys, so we did bleed the brakes. I put the car down and I put the wheels on, and the brake pedal still feels pretty soft. I believe it's because I replaced the complete DCS unit, or the the ABS unit. There you go. So it was empty, fully empty, so flushing with the power bleeder did not work out for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use BMW INPA to bleed it. I already tested on the passenger rear wheel. So let me show you guys how to do it on the, do it using. I'm just going to do the passenger, actually driver rear now. So make sure your battery is connected to a battery tender, just in case if you run out of battery. I have the drain cup I got from the power bleeder connected to the bleed valve. Got the INPA cable connected, and now, alright, turn on ignition. Ignition is on. 90 chassis, and dynamic stability control. Yes, all that information. And so yeah, I installed INPA from Beamer Geeks, and I guess I don't have the translated files on it, so it's all in German. But no worries, I think I know by where it is. Okay, so it's F6, and then basically these are the 4 options for each wheel. So HR is rear right, HL is rear left, VL is front left, VR is front right. That's what I think. So what we're gonna do is, I already did HR, so we're gonna do HL shift F5. And basically this is telling you to open up the bleed valve. So let's go do that. Okay. There you go. Should do it. I'm gonna leave this here because I know it's gonna fill up that thing. Alright, so we're done with that. And make sure my leg is by the brake pedal. And we're gonna, okay. So press 80%. Good. And it's done. Alright, let's go tighten the bleed screw. So there still might be air in the system. So I'm gonna do the rear driver's side again, just so I can make sure I'll bleed out all the air out of it. If you check the reservoir, it's not that much, but it takes out a little bit, so make sure you fill it back, and then you know, go through all 4 wheels. So yeah, that's about it. That's it. So if you like the video, you know, don't forget to hit the like button and comment if you have any questions, or you know, if you want to like encourage, I guess, I don't know. Anyway, if you have not hit the subscribe button, make sure you click the subscribe button down below, somewhere around there. And I'll see you guys next time. Keep breaking bolts. Have a good day.